There are moments when the path of life becomes silent and the absence of companionship feels like a heavy burden to carry. Yet that same silence can be the fertile ground where your greatest strength takes root. At first glance, solitude seems hard, even unbearable. But seen through the eyes of Stoic wisdom, it transforms into something powerful, a teacher, a forge, a sacred space for self-reconstruction. The truth is, walking alone doesn't mean being lost. It means moving forward with such clarity that you no longer need others to validate your direction. Many spend their lives trying to fit in, to be liked, to be understood, only to realize they've become strangers in their own story. But those who have learned to walk solo discover a different truth. Solitude isn't emptiness, it's fullness. It's not about rejecting people, it's about reclaiming yourself. And that is exactly what we will explore today. In this video, I'll share 12 profound Stoic lessons on how to use solitude as a tool for transformation, to build inner peace, unshakable confidence, and the kind of presence that changes everything. If you feel this message speaks directly to you, write in the comments, "I choose to walk my path, even if I walk alone." Before we begin, I only ask two things. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, so this wisdom reaches more people who are ready to stop seeking permission and start living with intention. Now, let's begin. Lesson 1. Solitude as an engine of growth. There are paths that can only be traveled in silence. Solitude, that companion feared by many, is in reality a demanding teacher, one whose lessons cannot be learned amidst noise. When you walk alone, there is no echo of praise, no applause, no external approval, just you, your breath, and your decisions. And in that stillness, something profound happens. You begin to hear your own voice, clear, strong, unaltered by the expectations of others. This is not isolation, it's awakening. Because in solitude, you're forced to confront what you usually avoid, your doubts, your fears, your hidden desires, your unresolved pain. No one else is there to distract you, so you must face yourself. And that confrontation, raw, honest, silent, is where growth begins. Montaigne said, "The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself." And that is the heart of solitude. Learning to inhabit yourself, finding clarity in silence, gaining strength from your own presence. True mental strength isn't born in crowds. It's born in the quiet moments when you allow yourself to be whole, without masks. We've been trained to fear silence, to fill every minute with distractions, endless scrolling, superficial conversations, and tasks without purpose. Yet it is precisely in silence that you hear the most important voice, your own. Building solitude is like erecting an invisible fortress within you. Outside, chaos may rage, but inside, you learn to remain firm, centered, complete. Think of an athlete who grows stronger only when they give their body time to rest. Solitude is that rest for the mind. It's when you stop running after stimuli and begin nourishing yourself from the inside out. This isn't about withdrawing from the world. It's about returning to yourself. And every time you feel fear at the thought of silence, remember, silence is not emptiness. It's space. Space to heal, space to grow, space to speak with authenticity. Trust yourself. Create the version of yourself you'd love to live with every day. Nourish the thoughts that elevate you. Give life to the small sparks of possibility until they become flames of fulfillment. If this lesson resonates with you, write in the comments, "Today, I choose to belong to myself." That is the seed of solitude. And when you plant it, you'll discover you're never truly alone, because you'll always have yourself as your best companion. Lesson 2. The weight of external influences. It's not always easy to recognize how deeply others' opinions affect you. From childhood, we grow surrounded by voices that tell us what to do, how to behave, what success looks like, how we should appear, act, or react. Without realizing it, we adopt ideas that don't belong to us. We carry beliefs we never questioned and mold our lives according to maps drawn by others. The result? A deep disconnection with our essence. We live more attentive to the outside gaze than to our inner voice. And the more attention we give to others' judgments, the weaker our ability to make authentic decisions becomes. What seems like an innocent opinion turns into an invisible cage, a constant pressure, a burden that pulls us away from our true path. But there comes a moment when all of this begins to weigh too much, a breaking point, a point where you decide, I no longer want to live under the control of other people's thoughts. The first step toward freedom is learning to observe how many of your decisions are shaped by the need for approval. Ask yourself, do I do this because I truly desire it, or because I fear being judged? You'll discover that many actions aren't expressions of your will, but automatic responses to a belief system installed in you by others. And when you begin to free yourself from that pressure, something opens inside. You realize, I don't need so many opinions. The outer noise only complicates what I already knew deep down, because when silence arrives, clarity emerges. And in that space, free from influence, you start to see clearly where you truly want to go. Less distraction doesn't mean less stimulation. It means greater focus. The more you eliminate the unnecessary, the stronger the essential becomes. Every comparison, every imposed expectation, every judgment received, distracts your attention from what matters. But if you dare to silence those voices, if you dare to walk without needing everyone to understand your direction, your energy aligns. You stop acting to prove something. You stop chasing others. You begin to move by what truly ignites you, not by what they expect. And that shift doesn't just transform your direction, it transforms your speed, your intention, your peace. Because you no longer waste energy trying to fit into molds that were never made for you. Now, you build your own mold, your own path, your own truth. And here lies the power of walking alone. Not to reject connection, but to master it. To choose wisely who walks beside you. Because not everyone deserves access to your soul. So if this lesson has touched you, write in the comments, I am guided by my own compass, not by the wind. Because the person who chooses their own direction stops measuring themselves against others and starts building a life that reflects their deepest values. Lesson 3. Eliminate the need for approval. How many times have you stopped yourself from speaking your truth, just to please? How many times did you smile when you wanted to scream, or stayed silent when you needed to be heard? That character is like clothing too tight. Outside it may look elegant, but inside it suffocates, hurts, and leaves you unable to breathe. You think you're protecting yourself, but in reality, you're silently betraying yourself. You accept invitations you don't want. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny. You agree with ideas you don't believe in. And in the end, you're left with the emptiness of having lived a role that was never yours. Stoicism reminds us, every time you fake, you lose the chance to be. And nothing corrodes the soul more than realizing you've become a stranger inside your own life. Seneca said, "The greatest wealth is to live in accordance with nature. Your nature needs no masks. It needs no approval from others. It needs your courage to be who you are, even if it discomforts some. And yes, when you begin living your truth, some people will leave. But look at it differently. Those people were never truly beside you. They were beside the character. Whoever stays, stays for you. Authenticity doesn't seek to fit in. Authenticity creates space, and that space is fertile. There, your voice blossoms, your presence thrives, your true strength awakens. Because when you drop the mask, you lose nothing. You gain everything. The freedom to occupy the world as your authentic self. The Stoic practice today is simple. Choose one situation in your day where you usually pretend. Maybe it's smiling when you don't want to, or staying silent when you want to speak, or accepting something you don't desire. And in that moment, choose honesty, even if it hurts, even if it feels strange. That is the seed of your authenticity. If this lesson touched you, write in the comments, "Today I choose to be whole," because any character can deceive the world, but only truth sets you free. Lesson 4. Freedom to set your own pace. There's a deep lie we've been sold, that we must live fast, as if every second not spent chasing results, recognition, or money were wasted. But real life doesn't reward speed, it rewards presence. And presence requires you to walk at your own rhythm, not someone else's. No greater sensation of lightness exists than walking at your own pace, without feeling the need to run to catch up or slow down to wait. In a world obsessed with velocity, comparisons, and urgency, choosing your own cadence is an act of maturity, because it's not about going faster, it's about moving with coherence. Some accelerate out of fear of falling behind, others stop out of fear of making a mistake. But the one who has learned to listen to their own footsteps understands. Real progress doesn't depend on the external clock. It depends on internal commitment, and when you free yourself from the pressure of others' rhythms, a firmer, more authentic consistency begins to emerge. Walking at your own speed isn't laziness, it's wisdom. Wisdom to know when to push forward with force and when to conserve energy. Wisdom to resist the collective rush and the illusion that you must prove something. Each person follows a different process. Each mind matures at its own rate. Each experience has its own tempo. Trying to match someone else's pace is a form of ignoring your reality. But when you decide to set your own rhythm, time stops being your enemy and becomes your ally. Because now you're not racing against anyone, you're walking in alignment with who you are, what you need, and what you're willing to sustain. Not depending on others' timelines is also a sign of freedom. Sometimes we delay our decisions, waiting for someone to join us, to understand us, to give us permission. But that only prolongs the inevitable. You are the one who must take the first step. And that step, taken in solitude, is the bravest of all. Because it's not driven by applause, it's driven by conviction. So write in the comments, "I choose to advance at the rhythm that honors my journey." Because only you know the speed that allows you to move without losing yourself along the way. Lesson 5. No one else will live your life for you. You might wish someone would come to guide you, rescue you, or show you the right path. But the Stoics taught a harsh, liberating truth. You are your own salvation. No one will make your decisions. No one will heal your wounds. No one will rebuild your peace. You can't wait for inspiration. You must become it. You can't wait for strength. You must embody it. You can't wait for peace. You must build it. Because in the end, it's not about fixing the world. It's about becoming the kind of person who no longer needs the world to change to live well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't waste more time debating how a good person should be. Be one." And being requires preparation. It doesn't begin when everything is perfect. It begins when you decide that there is a part of your day and your life that is sacred, that is non-negotiable, that will be honored in every scenario. So commit to this. I will live my life even when I walk alone, because the one who waits for others to act is the one who never moves, but the one who acts, even in solitude, becomes the author of their days. And authors don't need audiences to exist. They need integrity. Lesson 6. Your mind needs only one goal. Chasing 10 dreams at once leads to 0 achievements. It's like running in 10 directions, exhausting yourself, and ending up exactly where you started. Focus is your superpower. When you pour all your energy into one clear goal, you become unstoppable. Marcus Aurelius didn't try to conquer Rome, Athens, and Egypt simultaneously. He focused, and thus achieved. You can do the same. Choose one mission, define it clearly. Maybe it's improving your health. Maybe it's healing a relationship. Maybe it's launching a business. Whatever it is, make it your anchor and guard it fiercely. Don't let distractions pull you. Don't let comparisons distract you. Don't let fear tell you to slow down. As Seneca said, it's not that we have little time, it's that we waste so much of it. And the biggest waste, spreading your attention across too many goals. You can't light 10 fires with one match, but you can ignite one and let it warm you for years. So define your goal and write it somewhere visible. Make it your phone wallpaper. Put it on your mirror. Let it be the last thing you read at night. These reminders pull you back to your path every time your mind tries to wander. Because speed comes not from doing more, but from focusing better. And focus is the bridge between dreaming and becoming. Write in the comments, I focus on one goal, because that is how I win. Because clarity beats chaos every single time. Lesson 7. Discipline is born in solitude. Discipline doesn't flourish in the spotlight, it's forged in silence. While others sleep, the disciplined rise. While others scroll, they study. While others quit, they persist. Because discipline isn't a group activity, it's personal warfare. It's the daily decision to honor your word, even when no one sees. Marcus Aurelius rose early each day, not for performance, but to strengthen his mind before facing the empire. He wrote in silence, not to impress, but to train. That's the essence of true discipline. It's not about proving anything, it's about keeping promises to yourself. And the only place where that happens consistently is in solitude. When no one watches, you have the purest test of integrity. Will you keep your word when there's no applause? Will you train when no one knows you skipped yesterday? Will you work on your project when the world calls you lazy? Yes, if you've built a life of inner loyalty. Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." But he forgot to add, "You are also the average of the choices you make when you're alone." And those choices, repeated in silence, define who you become. So if you want real discipline, create space for solitude. Let it be your training ground. Because in that quiet, you learn to lead your mind instead of letting it lead you. And when you master that, the world loses its power to break you. Lesson 8. Create mental space for yourself. Your mind needs room to breathe. But if you're constantly exposed to the world's opinions, comparisons, and demands, you drown in noise. Imagine trying to meditate in a crowded market. Sounds, voices, chaos everywhere. Impossible. That's your mind when it's open to 1,000 influences with no filter. You're not present in anything, only reacting. But the Stoics offer a solution. Build an invisible wall around your mental clarity. Disconnecting isn't about hating technology. It's about setting boundaries. It's about protecting your focus. It's about turning off the excess. And it begins with small decisions. Set aside 30 minutes a day for silence. Ignore notifications that aren't urgent. Choose your content like you choose food, carefully. Each time you do this, you send a clear message to your brain. My attention is valuable, and I won't waste it anymore. Digital moderation is the new virtue. In a world where everyone is hooked on distraction, the true revolutionary is the one who knows when to pause. Because in the end, focus is freedom. And where there is freedom, there is a life worth living. Lesson 9. Stop comparing. Start living your own race. Sometimes it's hard not to compare. Look around. It seems like everyone knows where they're going. They post their wins. They show their progress. They appear confident, organized, successful. And you? You're in your room, scrolling, wondering why you're not there yet. But here's the hidden truth. You're not seeing their journey. You're seeing their highlight reel. Behind every post is 1,000 moments of doubt, failure, and quiet struggle. Behind every "I did it" is a story of sleepless nights, tears, and sacrifices you never see. Comparison steals your peace, not because others are better, but because you've forgotten your own path. You've forgotten that your journey is not a race against others. It's a race against your own limits. Your timeline is yours alone. Your growth doesn't follow anyone else's calendar. The only person you need to beat is the version of you from yesterday. So stop measuring your progress by someone else's yardstick. Stop waiting for external validation to feel worthy. Start celebrating your small wins, even if no one else sees them. Turn inward. Focus on your own lane. Your path may be slower, bumpier, less visible, but it is yours. And when you run your own race, not to impress, not to compete, but to become, you find something extraordinary. You find peace. You find strength. You find freedom. Because you are no longer chasing shadows. You are walking your own path. And that is the only way to truly arrive. Lesson 10. Master your inner world. Everything outside you is a reflection of what you build within. No external change is real if it doesn't begin in the soul. You might have new opportunities, open doors, people supporting you, but if your inner world is full of insecurity, you'll see threat where there is opportunity, fear where there is a path, and doubt where there is potential. The human mind is a mirror, and if the mirror is fogged, the world appears distorted. But when you clean it, when you organize your thoughts, heal your memories, and align your intentions, reality shifts before your eyes. The Stoics called this inner mastery, the art of governing your own world before trying to fix anyone else's. Because whoever fails to build a sanctuary within themselves lives at the mercy of every outer storm. Consider this: insecurity, fear, comparison. These are walls built by your own mind. What binds you isn't what you lack, it's what you keep repeating. Old thoughts, old beliefs, old patterns. They form a labyrinth where you walk in circles, believing you're lost, when really, you've just forgotten the exit. Epictetus said, "No man is free until he masters himself." And that freedom isn't born from strength, it's born from awareness. It's the moment you realize, all that imprisons me is happening inside my own head, and I hold the key. Rebuilding your inner world means changing the tone of your self-talk. Replace "I can't" with "I'm still learning." Stop letting insecurity be the main narrator, and start making it a background character. Begin to plant thoughts that support the version of you that you want to become. Think of your mind as a garden. You can let it grow wild, full of weeds of fear, doubt, and guilt, or you can cultivate it with purpose, watering it with presence, patience, and discipline. What blooms depends entirely on your choice, and the more you clear the inner terrain, the more your outer life begins to respond. The law is simple. The world changes when your way of seeing changes. Your internal voice doesn't describe reality, it creates it. And the more conscious you are of that voice, the more you question it, guide it, re-educate it, the more your life transforms. Rebuilding your inner world isn't about erasing the past. It's about turning it into wisdom. It's not denying pain. It's building something beautiful from it. It's remembering daily that the power to begin again was never taken from you. Write in the comments, "My world changes when I change from within." Because the greatest revolution is silent. It happens in secret, in the mind. Until one day, the whole world realizes you've been reborn. Lesson 11. Action before you feel ready. You don't need to feel ready to act. You need to act to feel ready. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for the perfect weather to plant a tree. But the farmer knows, you plant in rain, in cold, in uncertainty. Because growth doesn't depend on ideal conditions. It depends on action. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait for inspiration to rule Rome. He ruled anyway. His greatness wasn't born from emotion. It was built through consistent, rational action. And that's what you must do. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Act. Gather strength, willpower, and discipline, and do what must be done, immediately, not tomorrow, not when the stars align, now. Because the best time to start was yesterday, or years ago, but the second best time is now. Think of it practically. Take YouTube creators, for example. Thousands of people now share skills: knitting, cooking, fixing appliances, gardening. Are they smarter? More talented? Not necessarily, but they started years ago. And because they acted first, they now speak from experience. As the proverb says, the early bird drinks the cleanest water. If you want success tomorrow, next month, or next year, you must plant the seeds today. All future results depend on decisions made now. So ask yourself, what are you delaying that could change your life? Don't say, "I'll do it later." Do it now. Seneca warned, "Fools are always preparing, never beginning." So what if, instead of saying, "I'll do it later," you simply started today? Wouldn't it be better to stop waiting and take the first step? Your desired future depends on the choices you make today. Tomorrow will only harvest the consequences of your current inaction. Write in the comments, "I choose to act now," because the only time that exists is this one. Lesson 12. Become who you are becoming. You don't need to be perfect to be worthy. You don't need to be flawless to deserve love. You don't need to have it all figured out to move forward. You only need to be in motion, even if you're afraid. The Stoics didn't preach perfection. They preached virtue, acting with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Even when no one was watching. They knew progress, not perfection, is the path to mastery. So release the need to be flawless. Embrace the beauty of the imperfect journey. Celebrate the messy attempts. Honor the effort, not just the outcome. Say it now, "I choose peace, not perfection." Because peace isn't found in never failing. It's found in rising after every fall, gently, kindly, firmly. And that is true strength. That is true freedom. That is true prosperity. Final reflection. Solitude is not weakness. It's strength in motion. Solitude isn't loneliness. It's power. It's not abandonment. It's return. It's not weakness. It's the quiet rebellion of someone who refuses to live in reaction. You don't need to be loud to be strong. You don't need an audience to be great. You don't need to explain yourself to be valid. You only need to walk, with presence, with clarity, with the courage to be different. And sometimes the world will misunderstand you. Some will call you cold. Others will call you distant. But that's the price of authenticity. Because when you stop seeking approval, you start attracting those who value depth over appearance. The person who walks alone isn't isolated. They're integrated. They are whole. And wholeness radiates a calm that no chaos can disturb. So if you've ever felt broken, lost, or empty, know this. You are not missing pieces. You are discovering them. And you find them not in crowds, but in silence. Not in applause, but in action. Not in belonging, but in being. So tonight, before you sleep, close your eyes and ask, who am I when no one is watching? That is the person you must honor. That is the person who decides your destiny. And that person is not defined by others' opinions. They are defined by your choices, especially when no one sees. So write in the comments, "I walk alone, and I go farther." Because the path of solitude isn't about escaping the world. It's about entering it with such strength that nothing can shake you. And the one who learns to walk alone walks with the greatest freedom.